Okay.
All right. All right. So welcome.
Mhm.
Happy Monday.
Happy
Mhm.
Monday.
Right. Um, Happy Monday and happy November.
Yes. Happy
Um,
November.
yeah, man. I'm trying to fix this so I'm IG. So right now we're live on IG, streaming to Facebook and also streaming to YouTube. Please feel free to check out my YouTube channel at Stacey Henry-Carr. And tonight is Great Minds with my cousin Nerisa.
Yeah.
Um, I am really excited about today's topic. What do you feel about today's topic, Nerissa?
I am grateful.
Oh, cute. I get it. You better be. You better be. So today's topic is, and I'm going to go, Nerissa, and see if I can send you, um, share with your Facebook, right? So I'm
Okay.
going to go on. So today's topic is about gratitude and how living in gratitude is a game changer for your life. Like not just a little bit of changer, a really big time game changer.
Right.
And so what is what is this game changer gratitude thing, right?
Hmm.
And why is it a game changer? So I'm trying to share, by the way, to
Right.
send
Right.
it to
Right.
you. Things are just moving a little slow, but I'll work with it. Um, so have you ever known someone who they complain about everything
Yes.
all all
All the time.
all the time, and nothing is ever good enough. Nothing is ever good enough. And when they complain about the thing that they want and they get that thing, they continue to complain.
Yes.
Do we know anybody
Hmm.
like that?
Yes.
Yes.
I know a few people. I
Okay.
do. I do.
So
uh,
we don't necessarily know why they might be going
hmm.
through that. There may be a lot of reasons why they do that. But
Hmm.
one of the most important things that we're missing sometimes from our daily diet, and I call it a diet because everything that we do is, it's to feed our mind, our body, and our soul.
So, yes.
But one of the things that we miss is what I call intentional gratitude, right?
Mm. Right.
Intentional gratitude. Not just the gratitude you do when you decide, oh, I need to say thank you, or oh, let me tell God thank you for this so that I could get that.
Right.
No,
No.
intentional everyday gratitude. So, first, let's talk about what gratitude is.
Okay.
All right. So,
Gratitude is a must.
that it is. What is gratitude? It's a feeling of appreciation that you get when you recognize that something or someone is valuable to you, right? And it's
Right.
not just about money being valuable. A lot of times people couple gratitude with monetary gains or couple
Hmm.
gratitude with materialistic gains, but it's an appreciation that you get with from anything that you feel like is valuable to your life.
Right.
And that could be a small thing, that could be a big thing, that could be somebody who's permanently in your life, like a spouse or a friend, or it could be just somebody you run into at the grocery store, right?
Right.
So, what is gratitude? It's a feeling of appreciation you get when you recognize that something or someone is valuable. Cousin, what's
Hmm.
valuable in your life?
What's valuable?
Yes.
Mm. Oh, my husband is valuable to
Mm-hmm.
me. Very, very, very dear to my heart. I have close friends that are super valuable.
Mm-hmm.
I think more of what I see as valuable are people more than things, because things can be replaced. And growing up, we learned that, good friends are better than pocket, change. So,
Yes.
yes. So, having a great friend, I have two really close friends to me. They're
Mm-hmm.
super valuable to me, and I'm just grateful for them to be in my life.
Mm-hmm.
One, I've been friends with her since we were six. The
Mm-hmm.
other, we've been friends, all three of us, since we were 12 years old. So,
Okay.
it's really, really valuable to me, and I'm really grateful for that.
Okay. So there's an appreciation that you feel from that. Thank you for sharing. So the reason why I asked you that is because when we practice intentional gratitude, then we have a way of being thankful and being grateful for the things and the people in our lives. And we can
Mm-hmm.
do that every single day. If you do that every single day and you get up and you know that I'm going to start with gratitude and I'm going to end with gratitude, that's intentional. There are things that you could do. I have a fuzz on my lip that's driving me crazy. Ooh, got it. There are things that you could do, things that you could actually do in the mornings and at nights to start your day with gratitude and end your day with gratitude.
Mm.
I mean, it's truly important because there's a thing that a lot of us don't recognize. Hey, Ryan, how are you? Um,
Hey, Ryan.
we sometimes are only thankful and grateful for the big wins that we have in our
Mm.
lives, right?
Yes.
So the things like um, the house, the car,
Mm-hmm.
the big job,
Yes.
that type of stuff. And those are the things that, all of a sudden we tie value to those things. And those are the things that we are grateful for. But what about the fact that if you put your hand over
Mm-hmm.
your heart, you feel a heartbeat? And
Awesome.
if you do
Mm-hmm.
that for a moment, just for a moment, the first thing in the morning when you wake up
Mm.
is, okay, who says there's no sound?
Ryan, can
Baxter.
you hear us?
Hold on. Let me make sure that.
I'm hearing you.
Oh, you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear
All
you.
right.
And
Ryan.
Ryan is on, and he said nothing. Okay,
Oh,
okay. I
okay.
think
All
his
right.
thing was taking a while.
No worries. No worries. Okay. Hey Baxter, nice to have you. I'm sending out my
Welcome.
condolences. So, here's the thing. So, gratitude. So you can be in difficult situations, and if you are able to shift your thoughts about that situation, you can, by being grateful for something or someone in your life, you can
Mm-hmm.
you can completely shift what that bad, dismal situation was in your mind. So being intentional about your gratitude is, what do you do in the morning? What do you do at night to be grateful for the things and the people that you have in your life? And summarizing before I move on, it's not about money, y'all. It's not
Mm.
about waking up and being grateful for the material things that you have in your life. That's nice, but that's not all that gratitude is about. Gratitude is more than that.
More than that.
Gratitude is also about being grateful for the small things and being able to find that space where you're
Mm-hmm.
leveled and you're grateful, even in a bad situation. That
Right.
sounds weird. Does that sound weird, to
Mm-hmm.
be grateful in a bad situation?
It sounds weird, but the more you're grateful, the more you attract good things to come to you.
Okay.
And even now, I believe that I am being, and I'm a positive person. I'm very grateful. Like, I rarely complain, and even if I try to complain, I don't even let anybody hear me complaining. But I try to stay positive. I try to be as grateful as I am, and still, I believe that God has put me in a place where there's certain things that I want to attain, and He's like, no. So I'm wondering if I'm not grateful enough. But I'm just right at that point where He is like, right, you're not ready for this, or you just have to wait. So I'm just thinking, am I supposed to be more grateful about what I have? Because I am grateful for everything. Just being able to, get up and go to the bathroom on my own. I was like, you know what, thank you, I'm able to do that on my own. And I am pretty grateful, but I'm just in a spot where I just think that there's just a lesson that I need to learn before I'm able to move on. And it
Mm-hmm.
gets frustrating, but I'm being what's that, I'm having long suffering. That's
You're
the word, I
being
don't know.
and you're be- and you're being obedient. So
Yes, yes,
there's something that you said that I think is really important. Remember how I said gratitude is not just about our monetary gains?
yes.
It is also about the lessons that you learn. So one of the things that you said, and I'm going to tell a story, is
Mm-hmm.
that this thing is coming, or you want this thing to come, and you're feeling
Mm-hmm.
frustrated because it's not coming.
Right.
All right. So there's so many. One of the things I'm going to put up that I have that I think is interesting based on what you just said is this.
Mm-hmm.
I am grateful for the opportunity I missed.
Ah.
Right?
Mm. Yes.
Okay. What does that mean? I'm grateful for the opportunity that I missed. There's plenty of times that we chase a situation that
Mm-hmm.
we think is for us, and that situation is not for us at that time, or it's not
Mm-hmm.
for us at all. It was probably
Right.
never designed for us, but we that's what we wanted. And then when it
Mm-hmm.
didn't work out, it was for our greater good,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Definitely. Definitely.
So when you want that thing and it doesn't come, your favorite affirmation should be, I'm grateful for this opportunity that I missed.
All right.
Because, go ahead.
I'm grateful for this opportunity that I've missed. Or maybe it's not even time yet. Maybe I'm not ready for it, right? Probably I'm not mature enough to receive it. And, again,
There,
that spoiled mango or that unripened fruit.
there are many reasons why
Mm-hmm.
it might not be time, right? And the
Right.
the the thing is to not necessarily try to put the why on it right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
just keep going until the lesson happens, because the lesson will happen. You'll eventually find why.
Yes.
So Ryan says, I thank God each morning for physical vision, strength, stability in the activities of my limbs to see and walk, to the bathroom, all that. Listen,
Right.
because there are people who don't have that those abilities. There are people without sight. There are things that, like when I go out and I check out my garden and I see my roses and I'm just so excited, and I go, oh my God, my roses are blooming. And then I always think I'm so grateful to have sight to be able to see this type of beauty, because there are things in life that we take for granted that other people don't have the luxury of. I
Yes.
I mean, basic things, food, water. Um, so gratitude is about perspective. It's about perspective. It's about how do you see things versus um, how somebody else sees it. What you may be grateful for, um, might be something that another person cannot even remotely get access to. Something as simple as water,
Mm.
right? So there's a quote that I think is going to put this whole perspective part of it together. And then I'm going to give you the quote, and then I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to tell you a story. So we're talking about gratitude and
All
why living in
right.
gratitude is a game
Mm-hmm.
changer. So I'm waiting for the quote to come up. There's a quote
Mm-hmm.
by Gandhi, and the quote talks about I think it said, "I cried because I had no shoes, and then I met a man with I
No
met a
feet.
man with no feet."
Mm.
Right? So the quote is, "I
Mm.
cried because I had no shoes. Then I met a man who had no feet." So gratitude is about perspective, straight up
Mm.
perspective. Um, because at that point, you're like, well, gosh, what was I upset about? What was my problem? Right?
Right.
Okay. So it's really important that we understand that if we shift our perspectives, then um, we can very much change our entire trajectory of our day and of
Mm-hmm.
our lives. Hey,
And of our
Raymel,
lives. Yes.
of
Here
our
now.
lives, not just because intentional gratitude, you see, is something that it doesn't just change your day. It can
Mm-hmm.
change your entire life. It can change your being. It changes the way you see things. It
Mm-hmm.
changes all of that. So at the end of the day, it's really about finding those little things that you're grateful for, and
Mm-hmm.
not just being grateful for the big wins, but being grateful for the small things, being grateful and shifting your perspective. But the winner chicken dinner is, can you can you be grateful in dismal times?
Mm.
Can you be grateful when time is rough? Can you be grateful when you're down in the valley and you're crying and you're wrapped up in the bed? Can you be grateful during those hard times? Can you be grateful when you lose a father, like my dear friend Baxter, who's on here? I send my condolences to him. Can you be grateful when you lose a spouse, like my dear friend just lost his wife? How do you find, and this is some real stuff now, how do you find gratitude in life when you are experiencing those types of
Mm.
ordeals? So Dawn says, yes, gratefulness for the things we easily take for granted. Yes, water, shelter, shoes, all of that,
Mm.
lights, eyesight, being able to walk, just the regular normal things, a heartbeat because we woke up. And my friend Raymel says we live in a vibrational universe. When we are in an energy of gratitude, we send that energy out into the universe, and it matches our energy and gives us more things to be grateful for. Yes,
Right.
that's exactly why I tell my kids all the time how important it is to be grateful for the things they have and not get on this rampage of always wanting more. And you have to start somewhere,
Somewhere. Right.
and wherever you start, you have to live in gratitude with that thing. That is so important. Thank you so much for that, Raymel. That is so important. So
There was
go ahead.
let me interject just a minute. There was a time, I think it was just like 2 months ago, and everything is just okay, everything is fine. And then we woke up one morning, and then we can't take a shower because there was something wrong with the plumbing in the bathroom. Remember,
Mhm.
it's just a bathroom. You always been able to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was so bad we had to go to my in-laws to use the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, but my husband found a way of fixing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would thank God and him like all day, every day until the next day, because I'm like, this little thing
Yeah.
I'm making a big deal out of, but it's not being able to take a shower was like,
Yeah.
imagine. So I was just so grateful that it got fixed, and we only experienced it for probably like a day and a half, but it
Mhm.
was, yeah,
And
it
that day
wasn't.
and that day
Go
and a
ahead.
half felt like a lifetime, right?
Yes, it did. And when and this is why I said, instead of just saying water, I was like, I thank God for running water.
Yes.
That the water runs and it's able to go out
The
and not,
word, your word is your wand.
yes, yes,
And
yes, it was.
so Ramel says there is polarity in everything in life. Whenever there's a bad thing going on in the world and your life,
Mhm.
in your life, know that on the other side of bad, there is
It's
good. Be grateful for the good times, memories, and moments, as those are the things that are true, that truly matters. So, why I think that is so freaking profoundly important to this, to what we're talking about now, Ramel. Thank you for that comment. Why that is important, it's because um, a lot of times people think that they cannot be grateful during situations of bad times. So
right.
you just talked about not having running water, something that you took for granted. We are talking about how gratitude is all about a matter of perspective. So
Mhm.
we can look at this whole scenario of 2020. We're about to be done with 2020,
Mhm.
and everything that we took for granted was pulled from under us. A lot of what we took for granted was pulled from under us.
Mm.
A lot of what we just thought was an everyday normal thing
Mhm.
shifted and changed. And people started really looking at life differently and starting to having to shift, and the perspectives about what was important
Mhm.
changed. I know for me it did.
A whole lot changed for me.
The
A
perspective of
whole
what I
lot.
thought was important completely changed, because now I was having to be grateful that I was healthy, more. So I was talking about being healthy. I was being grateful that I had toilet paper. I was being grateful. I mean, that I was able to. I was grateful that my kid was homeschool already, so I didn't have to worry
Mhm.
about the whole concept of what's going to happen with school. I was grateful
Mhm.
about a lot of things that I took for granted, right, during this
Yeah.
year, and had to pivot and had to change. Raymel says, um, also, everything in life has a rhythm in cycle and season. Oh, yeah. We talked about that this morning about
This morning.
season. Yeah. When we come to realize that hardships, hard times, and loss of loved ones is going to happen, when those bad times come, be thankful for the lessons and blessings that you have gained from them. Yes. What is it that they taught us? That's what I do when I miss my loved ones. I constantly think about them in the light of, what did I get from them? What memories did they leave behind? What lessons, what wisdom? Man, did I gain some wisdom from those people? So thank you for that, Raymel. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for engaging. I love it. Dawn, yes.
Yes.
So Dawn says, yes, gratefulness changes our perspective and perception. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Gratefulness. So what are some of the benefits of being grateful? So first of all, we had to talk about the fact that it's not just the big wins. We need to be grateful along the journey to get to that big win.
Right.
And it is a matter of perspective. I may be crying about a shoe, not having some shoes, and then there's a
Mhm.
man without feet.
Feet. Right.
Okay. I may be upset about losing my glasses, and there is a man or a woman who can't see. So it's just a matter of perspective, and what do we do with that? Right.
Mhm.
So
Right.
there are some benefits, um, for being grateful and living with intentional gratitude, you sleep better. Here's the thing. A positive thought and a negative thought cannot coexist at the same
Mm-hmm.
time.
Right.
You can't have a positive thought and a negative thought at the same time. It's not possible. Have you ever tried? Has anybody ever tried having a positive and a negative thought at the same time?
I guess we tried, but it just didn't work.
You
It can
can't.
happen.
You can't. You cannot have a positive and a negative one at the same time. Um, so gratitude, when you're living in gratitude and you're being grateful about things and you're doing it intentionally, it it removes those negative thoughts. It removes the negative thoughts from your mind, which then have a lot of benefits. So one benefit that is of gratefulness connects us to our soul is what Dawn says. Dawn, it's an inner work first. Gratitude is about inner work.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps us to sleep better. We have better physical and mental health because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Our self-esteem improved because think about this. When we think negative thoughts, it decreases our
Mm-hmm.
self-esteem.
Right.
If we're living in gratitude and we're finding ways to be grateful along the way of our lives every day, all day, then we don't have time to live in that negative space. Therefore, it's going to improve our self-esteem. Go ahead.
Yes, that is so true. That is definitely so true. And with gratitude, we become happier people.
Yes, all around. Better attitude, happier. Um, it's funny because a lot of times we see people saying, or we say how blessed we
Mm-hmm.
are, right? We're
Yes.
like, oh, we're so blessed, right?
Right.
What are we blessed about? What are we blessed for? Do we really understand what we're blessed about, and that being blessed is about living in gratitude every day, all day, intentionally
Mhm.
for things that we're blessed about. Do you think people understand when they're saying how blessed they are?
Maybe not.
Some might, some might, but being blessed is not just about the fact that you got the paycheck today.
Right, right.
There's so much more to that.
So
So
much
much.
more.
So Ryan says another benefit is that it remove a lot of anxiousness and bring us to the present moment. That's a perfect one. It absolutely does ground us and bring us to living in mindfulness, which is the present moment. And once we get to that present moment, we can't think about the things that's stressing us out anymore because the positive thinking of gratitude replaces the negative thinking. So thank you so much for that, Ryan. That's perfect. Um, and then Raymel says positive and negative both serve a purpose. Yes. Just like a battery has both, which gives it power to make something work. Whenever we are in a negative feeling or thought, that is when we
Mhm.
have to deep dive into ourselves and see where it's coming from. Absolutely. There is nothing positive that is trying to come out of it. I'm sorry, there is something positive that is trying to come out of that negative thought, is what he's saying. That is why it's doing the work is necessary. So pretty much he's saying you got to deep dive, you got to dig, you got to go deep. And when you're having those negative thoughts, it's like your negative emotion is telling you that there's something that you need to mind. You need to deep dive and find the root cause, because from that work you will get the necessary positivity and or whatever it is that you're looking for in life. So the question is, what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? And I'll give you a couple of ways to work through that. You can do a gratitude journal.
Mm.
where you write in your gratitude journal every day at least 3 things that you're grateful for. It is important to start your day with gratitude, which means when you get up out the bed, don't go straight for your phone, as we often do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Find a moment to still your mind and be grateful for the things in your life that you appreciate, that that you find valuable, and start your day with that level of gratitude. You only need a few minutes. What are you looking for, cousin?
Somebody was calling, so
Uh,
my screen disappeared. Sorry.
uh, I'm like, what is she looking for? So you only need a few moments to live in gratitude. You only need a few moments to be able to say, I'm grateful for this, this, and this. Whatever is valuable, whatever you appreciate, start
Mhm.
your day with it. The other thing is end your day with it. What are you grateful for before you go to bed? Because that helps to set the tone for how you wake up the next morning. The
Mm.
last thing you think about at night is the first thing you think about in the mornings.
Mm.
Start with grateful, end with grateful. And you're looking at an intentional day. That's what the intentional gratitude is all about. So, um, let me give you see some comments. So we already talked about some of the benefits. So we're going to let's talk about um, gratitude journaling. There's also that other tool of doing gratitude visualization. And if you can visualize moments in your life where there was a small act of kindness, somebody was kind to you, there were goodness, there was something that was good. Or think about a time when um, something was just that made your day, just a positive interaction you had with someone. Those are the types of things that will shift your mind from the negative to the positive, because that's what we're looking for in our daily actions. The negative thoughts are going to come, guys. There's nothing we can do about that. They will come. But what we can do is we can replace them. And replacing them with intentional gratitude is by far one of the most powerful things that I've found so far. And I do that I do my journaling. So my gratitude journaling, 3 things I'm grateful for. Three
Mhm.
things. Look, 3 things, but I have 4 fingers. 3 things in the morning,
Thinking.
4 things, 3 things at night that I'm grateful for. Start my day with gratitude, end my day with gratitude. Then doing the visualization of that thing that was really impactful for
Mhm.
you, that act of kindness, anything you can use to replace the negative thoughts, really important. But most importantly is think of that your life and put it in perspective, um, to whether or not crying about the shoes is that important when there are
Mhm.
people without feet, crying about losing my glasses when there are people who can't see. So you have to put all of those things in perspective. But most importantly, the big guns that we talked about here is, how do you stay in gratitude during hard times? And that's because there's always something to be grateful for. So even
Always.
in always, so even in your rough times, there's something to be grateful for. So let me share this. I'm gonna share this story. So there is a time when there was a job that I was looking for, and I was looking for a promotion. This was many moons ago in my old life. And I applied for this job, and I knew, speaking my language of gratitude, hey, Sheila, I knew that I was so qualified for this job. So when I went and I did the interview, um, I just knew I did well, but I did not get the position. And I remember everybody was like, but you're qualified for it. You should question it. You should this, you should that. And I remember just being really okay with not getting the position and thinking about it in terms that there'll be something else for me. Well, in 6 months after the person who got that position, when everybody was telling me, you need to get that position, it's yours, it should have been yours, you're qualified, you're this
Right.
and that. 6 months down the line, that position was done away with, and that person who got that job lost their job.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So if that had been me, if I was the one who had gotten that position, that would have been me. So that's the whole point,
Point.
cousin, when I said earlier that it is okay to not get a position. It's okay to not
Right.
get the thing you're
Get that
looking
thing
for.
that, yes.
It's okay.
All
Um,
right.
Timing and positioning is everything, because that's when I say things like this. I'm going to show y'all again. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I missed.
Mm.
We have
Now
to.
it makes sense.
Do you get it now?
Yes.
Yes. Think about that. Because had I landed that job, I would have lost 6 months later, I'd have lost
Mm-hmm.
my entire
Lost it all.
job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So things work the way they're supposed to work when they're supposed to work. And living in gratitude is not about just living in gratitude for the wins and the big things. You have to be okay with the misses, because there are some lessons to be learned. There are some things within those misses that we need. So if you're out there and you have any comments, share with us. What are you grateful for? I'd love to see it in the comments. What are you grateful for? If you were to get up every day and start writing your 3 things, what are some of the things you would like to share? I'd love to see them in the comments. Sheila says gratitude is a state of contentment. Oh gosh, it sure is. It sure is. Ryan says, I've been focusing on what I have to give to the world that will put me in a state of gratitude and into action on the task to pour out my gifts and talents into the areas. Somebody on your, I see someone, Fashion Girl says just about everything. Good for
Everything.
you.
Right. Right.
Yes.
That's our mindset about everything, the little things, the big things, you know, what others may considered, non-essential. It's we are grateful for.
Yes, yes. All of those things are important. So for me, every day I get up, I'm grateful for waking up. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
grateful. If you put your hand over your heartbeat and you just take a moment to listen to that. Hey, Maya, my little baby girl, I'm grateful for my family. Yes.
Right.
And
Yes.
and I put my hand over my heart and I was like, there's a heartbeat. Oh, I'm so grateful to be alive today. Right. And
Mm-hmm.
Sheila says, I am gratitude, because
Right.
that's because she lives in it, everything about it, you know? And I tell you, sometimes we go through some rough spots, and those are the times when you need gratitude the most, because if you cannot find it to be grateful for that thing that's punching you
Gratitude.
out, then you
Mm-hmm.
then you have to find the things that's still good for you, that you still appreciate. My family, I
Mm-hmm.
am super grateful for my family. Yes, was it this morning or yesterday, we all walked the dogs together, and all 4 of us walking the dogs, and I looked back and I saw them, and it did something to me. I was filled with joy for the rest of the day. There was just something very profound, and I was so grateful for that. right? It's just the little things that turn out to be the big things. So my friend Trinae says, this pandemic has showed me how to be more grateful. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. I thought I lived in gratitude until this year. This year really helped me to turn it up a notch. Um,
And I have Miss First Lady Cherise says, I'm grateful for life, my family, and my kids. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Ryan King says, I'm grateful to make it to a new day, new month, into this hour, minute, and second of this day. Absolutely. Absolutely. Gratitude is, I'm grateful to be in my right mind. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yes. I mean, it's the little things. It's the little things. Hey, Carrie Crosby, what's up? It's the little things that we don't recognize when I go outside. So I'm going to give you another story. So I told you the story about the job that I did get.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else got it. And then 6 months later, the job was gone. But I'm going to tell you about some ways that gratitude will give you more. So this year, and I've said this before, but it's so profound that I still have to share. This year, I love roses, and I have a bunch of rose bushes in my backyard, in my front yard. But there's this one rose bush in the backyard, and I've put a lot of pictures of it out on social media. You've seen me with roses, pictures of roses. This year, that rose bush bloomed more than ever. And the reason why I believe it bloomed more than ever this year, and I've had it out there for almost 15 years, guys. But
Mm, nice.
this year it bloomed more than ever. So I have a friend who I would send a picture of a flower, a rose, or a lily from my garden every day during the pandemic because she lived in an apartment and we were shut in, locked in. She's in another state and she didn't want to come out. So because she wasn't going outside and she wasn't seeing nature, every day I got to get up. I got to go in the backyard. Sometimes I'd go out there barefooted. I'm a barefoot girl, y'all. And I got to be with nature. And so I started taking pictures of my rose bush and sending it to her. So every day I would go out there right after I've made my coffee and I'd take a picture of my rose bush or whatever bloom and I would send it to her. Listen, guys, that rose bush was on steroids because of that. And I know it had to been because there was an appreciation for it. And the more I appreciated it, the more it bloomed. You know that we're in November. That sucker is still blooming. Okay.
It's like how they say you talk to the plants and the
Yes.
plants grow beautifully.
And
So maybe that's the same thing.
but that's with everything in life. That's with everything. If you nurture it, it will grow.
Mm-hmm.
That's everything in
Yes.
life. That's relationships. That's your life. That's your plants. That's your children. I mean, if you nurture it, it will grow. And part of nurturing it is being grateful for it.
Mm-hmm.
Sheila says, I learned that when I speak gratitude, I invite God into every moment of my day.
Yes.
That is true and wonderful. I love that. I learned that when I speak gratitude, I invite God in every moment of my day because we're doing it, we're being intentional and we're coming
Mm-hmm.
from a place. The other part about gratitude is serving others. So being grateful in a way where we give back. And
Mm-hmm.
Ryan mentioned that earlier about giving back, using his talents and his gift. And I read a story today about it's a book that I was reading, and
Mm-hmm.
this person, he said he was 9 years old and he was in another country and him and his parents were driving by and he saw a young girl digging through the trash can. He was 9 years old. And he said when he got to the hotel, Oh, he said he remember at 9 feeling like he had to do something, but he was 9 years old. So the only thing he could do is when she smiled at him, he smiled at her, and he kept it moving. His parents kept it moving. But at 9 years old, he remembers being in the hotel and hearing some other kids around his age complaining that there wasn't anything on the menu that they liked.
Mm,
And at 9 years old, he had the wisdom enough to think about the young girl he saw digging in the trash can
right.
earlier that day. And so a 9-year-old was able to understand, maybe not understand the full
Full, yes, extent of what it is.
of gratitude,
Mm-hmm.
but had gratitude in that moment for what he was capable of,
Yeah.
right? So Al Berry says, be grateful all the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not
All
just
the time.
sometimes, not just
Not
some,
for the big wins, as my cousin would say, all the times. The little
all
ones,
the
the
little
big
ones.
one.
And I'm grateful 2020 brought you all in my life. Me too, Sheila.
Yes.
So the gratitude meter, I always tell my clients when I life coach, and they're like going through things, and I said, what's your gratitude meter on today? And they're like, I don't think I've really thought about it being grateful for anything today, especially the way I feel. And I have them do an exercise where they share with me what they're grateful for. Give me 3 things, give me 4 things, and they start listing them. They can list a whole bunch for every one thing that you're having an issue with. For every one thing that you're not feeling good about, you can probably find 10 things
Right.
that you can be grateful for,
Grateful for. Yes.
right?
Right.
So we have to learn how to shift our mindset. Trinae says, I'm so grateful for all the new people in my life. And I'm grateful for you, Trinae. Yes. So when we talk about gratitude, guys, one of the things that I really want to encourage you to do is not, because I'm going to wrap it up and summarize it. And I'm going to ask my cousin to share some thoughts. It's not just to be grateful about the big wins. It's not just to be grateful because you have money, because of monetary gains, but to understand that gratitude is given in small chunks, that the things that you're getting in your life, the small ones build to big ones anyway. I am grateful for
Right.
little things like I have a girlfriend, she still sends cards in the mail. And when I get her card, it's like somebody gave me $1 million.
Mm,
I am grateful for little things like that.
yes.
I collect angels. If somebody give me an angel that they paid $1 for at the dollar store, it's as if you've given me $1 million. So it's not the little things, it's not the big things that we have to be grateful for.
For
We have to start with the little things.
and being grateful for the little things will bring more things and
And
big things.
like my friend Ramel says, that energy of being grateful for the little things will bring on the big things.
Right.
And for the parents out there, I do want to encourage you to teach your children how to be grateful from a young age. It is very hard because this world is so materialistic. And so it's really difficult for them because that's what they see and that's what they're being fed a lot of. And so it is our jobs to teach them what gratitude truly is, to let them understand that it's not about the material things that they see. And really to start somewhere by appreciating people, memories, and things, nature. Appreciate those things first before you go rushing looking for the gold mine.
Right.
Learn to appreciate the small things. So Trinae says the small things that we don't even acknowledge. I have learned to appreciate the most during this time. Yes, very,
Yes.
very important. So remember, I cried about not having shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Then I met a man without feet.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Gratitude is about perspective, y'all. What do you got to say for before we close
All right.
out, cousin?
So, on on Saturday, sorry, I was invited to speak to a group of people, and I don't know, in the midst of preparing what I was gonna say, I just met up on something about gratitude, and the theme was repositioning or perspective during a pandemic. So that's
Mm,
what I was talking about. And then um, it didn't start off with gratitude, but it ended with me talking about gratitude. So when you mentioned you're going to talk about gratitude, I was like, I think I have something. So when I got up, I was looking for my cell phone, right?
yes.
Because I know I screenshot it and I wanted to read what it said about gratitude. And so it says in positive psychology research, this is from Harvard University. It says gratitude is strongly and consistently associated with greater happiness. Gratitude helps people feel more positive emotions, relish good experiences, improve health, deal with adversity, and build strong relationships.
Mm,
So
yes.
that's what I want to end with.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So those are awesome benefits of being grateful. And for me, just remember, start with gratitude before you touch the cell phone, before you put your feet on the ground, even if you just sit up. Thank you and be
Hmm.
grateful. I'm grateful for
Right.
this. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. End
Hmm.
with gratitude before you close your eyes. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. What you're
Yes.
doing is you're sandwiching your day. So you're setting the tone. So thank you so
Mm.
much for the benefits. Thank you so much for everybody who joined. Trinace,
Yes.
Raymel,
Ramel,
Ryan,
Sheila,
Sheila, Dawn,
Carrie.
Carrie. For those of you who I might not have seen, thank you so much for jumping on. We appreciate you. And happy November. Happy fall.
Happy new month.
Happy new month. And just remember that no matter what happens,
Hmm.
there you still have plenty of things to be grateful for.
Grateful for. Yes, so much. And for those who are watching on our Instagram, thank you so very much, Myra, fashion girl,
Yes.
Monique, Miss Henry, Smith, everyone, Allison, everybody that came and even just say hi. They didn't even talk. Thank
Yeah.
you, Cherise, everyone that stopped by. Thank you so very much for joining us. It is really appreciated. See, I'm starting to be grateful. Thank you guys. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great night and a wonderful November week.
All right, I'm closing up, but I'm gonna say hi bye to Katie, and she just joined, but we're finished
Check
now.
out
So
the
thanks for
replay.
joining. Love you guys. See you next week.